All right, we're trying this again. Hopefully people I was chatting with before can find this. Fortunately, my connection was dropping, so I don't know what's going on. Why can't my connection do that during the workday, during meetings I don't want to be on? Just kidding. All right, I changed my setup. I'm back! Yay, y'all are back. Sorry, I don't know what's going on with my internet. It's being finicky, but I just created a new live. So hopefully this works now. Hi again, Nancy. Welcome back. Thanks for bearing with me with all this technical difficulties. All right, I'm moving on to some smaller safety eyes. These guys. So I think these are maybe 18. Yeah, I think they're 18, which I do use a lot of 18s. All right. Here are some of the other eyes that are now finished. And these little white ones. Let me know if there's still issues with the signal. If there are, I guess I'll have to take a rain check. My child is in percussion club at school. He plays piano, so I'm all for him incorporating music into his life. But his percussion club is a bucket with drumsticks. So I hear that right now. But Nancy, I guess I talk to myself when I'm doing these videos too in general, but like it does feel weird, very weird just talking to the screen. Though it's nice having like the chat feedback from people, especially when I'm having technical difficulties. But I used to teach group fitness classes before COVID. Before COVID, I was a completely different person. I used to run marathons, ultra marathons. I taught fitness classes. And when everything went virtual, I started teaching my classes virtual so that people still had workouts and like it just felt like a way to stay connected. But, we would chat before the class started in Zoom or whatever. And then I would start teaching and like it'd be kickboxing classes, yoga classes, things like that. And it's hard when you get no response from anyone when you're teaching a fitness class, because at least like when you're live and in person, you can kind of see like, oh, that person's really leaning into this or this person's struggling. Like, let me go check on them. Yeah. So I did that for, over a year. I can't believe I did that. Oh, hi, James. That's my husband. Yes. So my child is playing drums on a bucket right now. But even better, he came home from school today with a recorder. So we've moved on to the recorder phase as well. And he came home from school and just was playing it over and over and over again. And even the dog was like running frantic. I think she was very distressed about the sound of the recorder, as was I, to be honest. So, but yeah, I appreciate that he wants to practice. It's like I know it's a fourth grade rite of passage, but it's a lot. And my sister was playing the piano, and I swear my child wasn't even practicing a recorder song. I think he was just trying to play whatever song she was playing the piano. I was like, can I just close the door and hide? It's a very noisy house this evening. So I was basically like, I'm going to go live and just paint safety eyes. So, yeah. Anyways, um, I don't know. My husband's still creeping on here. He should be putting my kids to bed. Um, but before all those technical difficulties, I was responding about the comment about doing smaller markets, and the person next to me, the booth next to me yesterday, was saying that they had just done the Wake County, or Wake County. Why can't I? I can't even think right now. Hold on. Oh, thanks. Sorry, my husband just came to close the door, probably because of the drum. The Wake Forest Farmers Market. And she said it was like one of the best markets she's ever had. And it's just like a regular Saturday farmers market. Also, not yesterday, definitely not yesterday, Saturday, the weather was gorgeous in the Raleigh area. So it's just like a day where, oh, I'm going to go outside and like shop at the farmer's market. Yesterday was freezing. It was like winter came back and said, hold on, I'm not done yet. And it was the opposite of that. People were like, no, I'm not going outside to a market. It's cold. But I will post that. That's my child speaking through my husband right now. So, yes, the little fox says, hi, Graham. So yeah, that market recap will be up, I think, on Friday. Yeah, Graham, go to bed. Oh goodness. Oh, Jenny. I know it's gonna go fast, and I am definitely trying to enjoy them, but it was very noisy in the house. So yeah, maybe if like the noise could be a nice like piano tune rather than the whistle of the recorder and drums on a bucket, because it was abrasive. All right, I think yeah, these guys are done. How are we looking? I'm trying to decide if I need a second coat on these. I think I did a second coat on them. I think they're okay. Yeah, I can't really see through them. So here's the next one. These are 25s. So yeah. Hello to anyone new that has joined. I can't quite tell, just because this whole YouTube live thing is weird for me, but I appreciate, again, you all bearing with me. Now I'm moving on to 20s, because that is one of my most frequently used, especially for some of my kind of in-between projects. So I have like a flower sprite. I can't remember who the designer is. The flower sprite pattern, and they're really fun with the colored eyes. I did a therapy on my hook pattern today of the little flower baby that she recently released, and I debated doing safety eyes for them, or sinker eyes, but here it is. So finished this one earlier today, and I debated doing the sinker eyes, but decided against it because I knew I didn't really have any fun colors that would go with that. So maybe if I can get some more unique colors out and not just gold and blue like has been my go-to. Thank you, Jenny. So yeah. But anyways, I have the Fenton Market in 2 weeks, and I'm looking forward to that one because I've only been to Fenton a couple of times, and it's a cute shopping center. I'm originally from California, the Bay Area, and we had Stanford Shopping Center was an outdoor. It was more of a mall, like it was a big mall, but it was outdoors. And Fenton kind of reminds me of that a little bit. I guess it's also kind of like North Hills in Raleigh. They're just nice little shops and restaurants. And I've been to that market before. I love Carrie from Bright Kind Creations. She is a local print, sticker, stationery maker here in Raleigh. And so I've gone to markets before to find her. Also, I think it's Lauren Sumner Pottery or Ceramics. I really like her stuff. Actually, this planter behind me is by her. And I've seen her at Fenton before. So I really just love a lot of the makers that are at the Fenton market. So I feel very honored to have made it into that market. It's also with Triangle Pop-Up, which they just put together very nice events. They're just very well organized and run. So I did the Lunar New Year market. That was the market that I made over $2,000 in that one market day. It was bananas, and that was by Triangle Pop-Up. Hi, Travel Crochet. How are you doing this evening? Thanks for popping in. We're just painting safety eyes, and this is my first time doing a live, so I probably could have picked something that would be higher up for people to see, but I'm trying to share everything while I do it as I take things out of the little UV oven. I don't know what I call it. UV tray. So yeah. Travel Crochet, you working on any projects tonight? And I'm happy to call you by your name if you feel like sharing it, because I was calling Lamsey Ivy her username until she told me her real name. So another big one's going in. Just checking on what I put in there that can come out. So these are some little guys. The little ones don't usually take as long, I find, because they just have a lot less visible space to cover. So I don't technically need to put them in for as many coats, just because there isn't much to see. Just the edge. But chicks and eggs. Hi, Tracy. Yeah, I'm close to depleted on my chicks and eggs, and they're such a hit at my markets. It's actually on my list of things I need to replenish before my next one. So welcome to the live, Tracy. Just plugging away. I would probably put some music on in the background, but I don't know if I would get flagged by YouTube, because let's be honest, it would be Taylor Swift. All right, another pair going in. Yeah, that people get so excited about them, and they're so easy to whip up, and especially for batch makes. I love making chicken eggs. All right, we got another set of 25s coming out. I actually was starting batches of chickens tonight because I realized I've sold out of all of the regular chicken colors, normal chicken colors, but I have a bunch of blue chickens from Stardew Valley that I had been stocking up on. And so this weekend I sold the last of my traditional chicken colors. So just started batch making those today. Just need to now stuff them, but they've got their shelves and their, what's the thing called on top? It's not, I want to call it a clucker, but it's not obviously a crown. I don't remember. I'm sure I could look at the pattern to see what they call it, but yeah, so I make those and then I just tuck them away into the chicken shell until I comb. Yes. Sorry. I swear, my brain sometimes. I'm going to blame exhaustion. It's exhaustion from a child playing the recorder and drumming on a bucket. That's what I'm going to go with. So, hi, Shannon. Yeah, the comb. I do think clucker would be pretty funny though, but I guess that wouldn't really make sense considering it's not making a sound from the top. All right. I still have a little bit of this pink to go, so I'm gonna make a couple more big ones. I also have to check to make sure the eyes look good. I've had just a couple. I order the big ones from AliExpress. But I have had a couple that were like sketchy quality, and not enough to like complain about it, but just I very much have had to make sure that they look good before I paint them. Everyone bought my Stardew Valley ones. I know. And I think that the blue ones just look really pretty in general. And I also made like a black and white one with, I think, a purple or a blue comb. I saw that was another color combination in Stardew Valley. But, yep, batch making eggs. Feels like the theme tonight is chickens and eggs. So, and bumblebees. But, yeah, I also, on Instagram, Becky's Plushies dropped her Marshmallow Totoro pattern today. And I have been stalking her Instagram for like a month for her to drop that one. And it's a variation of the no face that she's already dropped. I could have winged it and made it without her pattern, but it kind of gave me an excuse to not drop everything I was doing to do it prior to today. But I was working on that earlier today, and I was very excited to see that she had dropped it. All right. So this one, I feel like this one could use another coat. It's the 20s, and it's just a little light. And then same. Nope, I'm not ready for the light to go out yet. Same with these guys, which are the 25s, I think. So yeah, anyone have any markets coming up, or are people really selling online too in addition to markets? Yeah, it is a very pretty pink. I'm liking it. Thank you. It's definitely a color I haven't done yet, so I'll be happy to put that into the rotation. All right. I keep thinking I need to get products listed on Etsy, especially in advance of Easter. I feel like I'm always playing catch up from markets to get ready for the next market, and I don't want to sell something on Etsy if it then puts me in a place where I'm frantically trying to keep up for an in-person market. So I don't know. We'll see. I have a few extra things, and maybe after this next market I think I have like a 3 or 4 week break between markets after this one next weekend. So maybe I'll list a couple things on Etsy for that one. So, ooh, nice. Is the website travelcrochet.com, or I would love to check it out. I have been tempted to just start my own website, but I just don't know that I have enough of a way to drive people to find my stuff, because I just don't have like name recognition. So I know like I did a few listings on Etsy in the fall, and things went pretty fast on there, which was great, but it just makes me hesitant to post on a website where someone may not be able to find me. All right, we're going to do a second coat on there. Oh, thank you. All right. What other items are you making? Are you focusing on spring stuff, Easter? Or do you just have like tried and trues that you're doing? I feel like with all these safety eyes or the painted ones, I really want to do. I want to do more like dragons and goblins and gargoyles. I sold all of those at my market like a month ago, and I feel like they would just be so fun with the safety eyes that are colorful. So again, I haven't made anything really big aside from Highland cows that I've been able to put kind of fun safety eyes on. Oh, nice, Shannon. July. That's exciting, though, that you got your first one, and that gives you a lot of time to prep, which is fantastic because I feel like that really is kind of the most challenging part. How is the coffee shop, the sales, and the dog groomer? Are you, I'm like guessing, are you doing a lot of pets and stuff like cats and dogs at the dog groomer? That would be a really fun market to get into and have people, buying all these little dogs and cats. And every time I go into like local coffee shops and stuff, I think these people would like, I bet love crochet items, but we have some very fun little coffee shops around me, but I don't know if they're shopping through fair.
Good night, Mom.
Good night again.
I'll see you later. Well, tomorrow.
Okay, I love
Good
you.
night.
Good night.
Love you.
Love you too. That's my drummer boy. Yeah, holiday stuff. I know. I really like am trying not to get burnt out on things, and I have a lot of fun making the things that I make, but I definitely see an issue of wanting to make more things like a little bit on my own schedule rather than, I mean, today I was like, okay, I need to make some more chickens just because I haven't made them. And everyone's noisy. My dog's moving around. I was able to like crank out a few chickens, but I didn't feel pressure that I had to get chickens done. So that was nice. And I enjoy making them until I don't, and then I'm done. So then I'm like, I don't want to see another chicken again for a month. So I make it. I don't know, batch. Yeah. Yes, she is in here.
Oh.
She's fine in here.
Good night, Mom. Good night, Lil.
Good night again.
Oh, wait.
She doesn't want to go out. She wants to stay in here. As soon as you let her out, she's going to want to come back in. Good night again. It's the 500 times of saying good night and again. I love that he wants to say good night to me. But go to bed. Oh no, I'm sorry to hear you're getting over the flu. I mean, I'm glad you're getting over it, but yeah, there's just been so much ickiness going on around here. Things to look out for when signing up for a market. Jenny, I would definitely, if you can follow the organizers on social media, especially like if they're doing kind of stories like where you can see event day, how it's looking. Some of them don't post updates throughout the day. Like the one yesterday, it's a big event organizer, and they weren't really posting videos throughout the day showing like the traffic or anything. And that doesn't mean it was a bad event, but some of them that do post, you can see like, oh, that market was crazy busy and there was a lot of traffic and they're doing a lot of advertising and pushing on social. And then there's some that never really post stories or kind of live views of what's going on in their markets. And I've found at some points that can be a correlation to there's not a lot of people at the market, just from my experience. I jumped really into markets when I decided I was going to do this last year, and just signed up for a whole bunch of them. And it was a great learning experience, and I'm glad I did it, and I don't really regret any of those markets. But you could definitely tell with a couple of them in hindsight that, like, oh, they're not showing videos of people attending the market because there was no one at the market. I think that now is a good time in general for markets because it's spring and the weather's warming up and it's close to a holiday. But the economy's weird right now, and I think that is also reflected in people shopping. So, at least, again, you'll see my recap from this weekend on Friday. But it was interesting. There were a lot of people out and about, but not many people were buying. So, yeah, if you can go as a visitor to see what it's like. I've also had markets that I was like, oh, I've been to those before. They're going to be great. It's just so, like, there's so many people there. Especially when it's, and this isn't to say that the ones at breweries aren't great, because I like doing those. I love shopping at markets that have something tied to it. But the two now that I've done at breweries, people were more interested in kind of like just strolling outside with their beverage than they necessarily were in buying anything. So, both of them, I think, were far enough from a holiday that people weren't necessarily like, oh, I need to get something. So it was very much a, this is nice to have, but not a must have for shopping. But, and speaking to other vendors too, I definitely got feedback of people saying like, yeah, there were a lot of people looking but not buying. So, but I think if you can go to the market first, if you can kind of read through their social media activity too, to see if people are commenting on their posts or, giving any feedback on their posts about how the market was, like, oh, I had so much fun or whatever, just to see if how it is with their vendors too. Because I have had a couple where I have basically been like checked in and never heard from them again, ever. No follow-up email, nothing. And then I've had others where, like yesterday, they checked in multiple times. Do you need anything? Here's waters, here's snacks. And I don't need that every time. I try to come with stuff, but it is nice, especially if you are at a booth by yourself for several hours, when the organizer's like, is everything going okay? Just want to make sure you have what you need. Just because you're a customer too for them. So, yeah. All right, I'm taking out a bunch of eyes. So I've got a whole bunch of little, small, medium, and then I have another batch of some bigger ones. I'm going to put them in for just 2 more minutes, the big ones. And then I think I'm going to make up another colorway. So, cats are very popular, but unicorns and moose. Yeah, Montana. That makes sense. What about wolves? So I'm in North Carolina, and I'm not a big sports person, but NC State is the wolf pack. I have made so many wolves, and people just aren't really that into them. Like, I thought they'd go nuts for the wolves, but I mean, I definitely see the wolf pack. What is it? This sign constantly around here, but they aren't saying that they need to buy it as a plushie. So, yeah, Jenny, definitely check out some of the markets in person. And if I'm at any of those markets, come say hi. But I will be, I've already said, Fenton in 2 weeks, and then I'm going to be at Raleigh Ironworks. So I've done one event at Raleigh Ironworks before, and I'd never been there before that, but it was so cute. And I want to go back to shop in general, because it is like another outdoor shopping center, restaurant kind of place. But it just was like a fun little vibe. So yeah. All right. I'm trying to see what colorway I'm gonna do next. Hold on. I got some glitters. I got some new glitters. I would share who I got them from, but I honestly don't know because I got them on Etsy. It's really hard to see. This is like a pinkish purple blue. You can't really tell from this light. I might do this one. I think it's like a green and yellow. This one is yellow, like highlighter yellow. This one looks to be green and orange. Hot pink. I'm not doing that one tonight. So, all right. Let's see what this looks like in the bowl. Because I might need to add some mica powder to it. Well, I will definitely need to add something to it, but oh, that's pretty. It's like it's kind of like a mermaid color, like blue, yellow, green. So, all right, let's see what my options are. I've got some mica powders here. I touched my glove to this. All right, I'm gonna need your help in picking. I have gold mica powder, and this one, Emerald Spirit. It's white, but I think it turns green. Should we try this one with the mermaid? What do y'all think? I also have this one. It's Paradise, which is very blue, and I have a lot of blues already. The white Emerald Spirit or Paradise? Let me know what you think. All right, I'm taking out these big safety eyes. Okay. This one needs a little bit more in one spot. It's like kind of thin. And I'm just going to be like scraping. I'm not making a mermaid, James. I'm sorry. That's my husband again. Or my son on my husband's account. The colors of the glitter are mermaid colors. White. Yep. I think I'm going to try it. I'm kind of excited now to see what it looks like once it's mixed. Or like when it's supposed to turn green. If it's when the light hits it or what. So, all right. I'm going to get that one back in to cover those spots. These guys are done. We are going to add in Emerald Spirit. Let's see. All right, we got our powder here. I don't want to like dump the whole thing in there because that would be a pricey mistake. And if anyone, depending on how this comes out, if anyone wants to know where any of these glitters or mica powders came from, I can definitely look up my previous orders to see where I got them from. I've been ordering from a few different places to just try them out. All right, putting the resin back in for those that are just joining. And I put quite a bit of resin just because I'm doing a large batch of safety eyes and I have no confidence in my ability to replicate a color once I've done it. Let's get out a good brush and stir for my safety mix. All right. Okay, well, it's mixing up still white. I guess it kind of has tinges of green. We'll see once it gets painted. Oh, thanks, Nancy. Everyone hit the like button. All right, Nancy, you're going to have to tell me what to do because I have no idea what to do with this live. I am so new to this. So I appreciate all your patience as I stumble my way through, and I'm glad that the internet seemed to have resolved itself. Okay, I don't know like what this white emerald spirit is doing, but I do like the glitter in it. It's pretty. So let's see. Let's do this. We're jumping in. And we'll do it with a big eye to get started so that we can get some full visibility into this. All right. Oh, I was like, where did I put my brush? I use these little silicone brushes, which are also kind of oddly satisfying to clean because, well, first, when you're done with the resin, if you haven't used it, I usually just stick my little bowl of mix and brush under the light so that it gets all hard and can peel off. And then I kind of just chip away at them. It's like a nervous habit kind of thing, but it's satisfying to see large chunks of the resin peel off from the brushes. Thank you, Nancy. I appreciate that. All right. It's going in. Let's see. If this does something magical and like changes colors while it's cooking. Oh no! Hello, Anna Victoria. Welcome. You honestly, you didn't miss much because I had technical difficulties. So this is a part 2 of the live chat because ultimately it just kicked everyone out and no one could hear me. So I just started again. And we are doing safety eye experiments. This one is an emerald spirit mica powder. Hello, Elsa. There's your shout out. Thanks for joining. Oh, you can kind of see the green as I'm like painting this. Oh, I'm so curious as to how this is going to work. I think it might be a light thing. There, let's see. Okay. Let's see. Anna, what are you working on? And you, Elsa, you crocheting anything right now? Just hanging out. I'll do a smaller one in white eyeball, that is, or pupil. So we're going to give those large ones a minute. Arizona State pillows, nice. How's the weather over there right now? Probably a lot warmer than I'm dealing with here, but I'm just a little cranky about that because it was a gorgeous Saturday and then we got the cold. Nice, a granny square bag. I want to try a granny square bag. The sweater behind me is a granny square cardigan that I made last spring, and it was fun, but I get kind of tired of the tediousness of the granny squares. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger, but I made a couple of them in different colorways. Thank you, Elsa. I appreciate that. Ooh, a custom order of giraffes. What giraffe pattern are you using? I haven't done a giraffe yet. All right, let's see. Okay, it's going to be so hard to see, but there is definitely like a greenish undertone on this. But, oh, the Crochet Grove one. I know. I love her patterns. I've started doing more of them recently. And I've seen her giraffe. It's colored, hitting the 80s. Sorry. Again, I'm cranky. It was 40 degrees at my market yesterday, and it was 60 on Saturday. It wasn't even 60. It was like 65, touching 70. And then yesterday, it was like, hold my iced latte. I don't know. It was really cold. And they handed out hand warmers at the beginning of the event, and I was like, I won't need this. Spoiler alert. I needed it. I told my husband I never thought I was going to be warm again after yesterday. It was so cold. All right. It's going back under. Second coat. I'm feeling like there is definitely a like twinge of green. Honestly, it's kind of like my nails. My nails looked greener when I picked the color, um, but I feel like the green only comes out in them when I'm actually like wearing green. So yeah, had him for a while and he hasn't sold. Oh, interesting. I don't know. I feel like giraffes really could be like kind of a year-end thing, but especially spring. So it's kind of one of those animals that like someone just loves. I'm trying to think of what I had yesterday that someone came in and said, "Oh my gosh, my friend loves it." Well, I did. I sold a positive pickle, and a bunch of people were excited about them, but one person was like, "I have a friend that is obsessed with pickles, so I have to get them this." I was like, "Okay." So I'm not obsessed with pickles, but I am obsessed with potatoes, and I keep meaning to do a positive potatoes. All right. I don't see the green so much in this, maybe a little bit. I feel like the camera reads it a little as green, but I think that's because there's a blue light right next to me. But it is really pretty. So, yeah, the pickles were really fun. I made the pattern by Amis by Angel, and it was super fast. So I was able to like whip up a whole bunch of them. So there's the big one again. Maybe if I had more green glitter in it, it would stand out more. But I think they're beautiful. I will definitely have fun putting them into things, but I don't know that I'd call it green. I don't know. The more I look at the like mix, even I feel like it's turning more green. I don't know how to say that. Tagine. But my friends always bring it for when we have margaritas. Um, but yeah, that would be a fun pattern to make or something to whip up. I also have not attempted pattern design completely on my own yet. I've like modified. Yes, I am mixing glitters. Sorry, I'm jumping all over. I have modified patterns to make what I've wanted. Tahine. Yeah, that I don't even know if I said that right still. Okay, so I'm using mica powder and then no, I can't find the glitter I was using. Too much. This glitter that it kind of looked like a mermaid tail, and I just combined the two. So I may never be able to replicate this again, but you know, we're just having fun with it right now. So I will definitely. I had like a sheet of paper where I was writing down some of the mixes that I was doing because I started doing them in such like different quantities, like really large ones or just smaller batches. It became kind of silly to be like 2 scoops of this and a pinch of this. So now I'm like, you get what you get and you don't fuss a fit. Next one going in. Okay, this is coming out. Let's try and make them at least presentable. So I like it. I really like it with the white pupil. And I have not made anything with white pupils yet, but I see them all the time. And obviously I got a bunch of them because I want to start making them. And maybe this will be what finally does it. Thank you, Jenny. Yeah, my kids are fascinated whenever I'm working on safety eyes. Like, which is funny because when you're shopping for the glitters online too, a lot of them are like, glitter for nails or slime. The amount of times I tell my kids they cannot buy a slime or bring a slime into the house. Yeah. But it's fine. On that note too, I downloaded CapCut last night because I've been editing my videos in like every different kind of software there is just to figure out which one I like, what it can work with. I don't have TikTok and I didn't plan on getting any TikTok products, but I really wanted CapCut because everyone kept saying CapCut was the way to go for editing videos. So I finally downloaded it, and my kid looked over my shoulder, and they're like, "Why do you get to download CapCut? We can't download CapCut." And I was like, "What are you doing with CapCut?" Well, apparently they were watching videos on it. I didn't know you could watch videos on it. I thought it was just a video editing software. I don't know. These kids, they know all like the different slang and all the different apps, and we very much try to monitor what they have access to. And we took CapCut away from them because they had downloaded it and then um, went down a rabbit hole of videos that we caught wind of, and we're like, nope, that's going to be deleted. But I didn't know that they were doing that on CapCut. I thought it was just some TikTok like thing, which I guess that's what CapCut is. But it's also video editing. Play-Doh and kinetic sand. Yes, we do both of those. Very little. But we do those on like a cookie sheet. And I'm not going to lie, we hide them. So it is a rare moment when the kids remember that we have them. So it's kind of a desperate times thing, or they see something or someone mentions doing it. Same with perler beads. Perler beads, slime, Play-Doh, kinetic sand. The messiest things you could possibly play with. And then the perler beads too, you need parents' help with it in order to work the iron to melt them. And the process of transporting it to wherever you will be actually sealing it is never a stress-free process. So yeah, it's owned by TikTok, which I didn't know until all the TikTok shenanigans were going on. And again, I don't have TikTok, so I didn't really care. But when everything was cut off, and then people were like, CapCut's down, I said, oh, well, I guess I'm not using that one because if I can't download it, I'm not going to do it. But I haven't been crazy about iMovie. I've tried a couple others, and they've just been okay. And everyone just keeps saying CapCut's the way to go. So I tried it for the video I released today, and I have to say it really was nice to work with. So who knows? I might stick with it. So what kind of patterns have you made, Nancy? Maybe we can encourage you to publish them. Got 2 free patterns. Yeah, I wanted to do a no-sew axolotl because I did have one that I was like kind of consistently doing, but then there was a whole bunch of drama in the crochet world about dragon patterns, and do we really need another dragon pattern, and who came up with what type of dragon pattern first. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to dive into that. I don't want to be accused of stealing something or not being original enough to come up with some animal that isn't already done, which I can't imagine what hasn't been done at this point. But whatever. I do enjoy supporting pattern designers though. So y'all keep putting out patterns, and oh, look, there's that giraffe pattern. Nancy, I haven't done a giraffe pattern yet. With a giraffe plush. Maybe yours is the one. Yeah, I do love. I've had a couple owl patterns, and I'm happy with my snowy owl now. It's like just the right level of commitment I want to put into a pattern, and size and everything. So, but I do think like there's just so many ways that people can make something, and why not put stuff out if that's the case? I think some of the comments about the oversaturation of some animals, like if you don't like it, don't get it. Get a different one. So many things going on out there. So, all right. I feel like I haven't shown you all anything in a while because I keep putting things in, but I'm not taking anything out. Hold on. Let's go see what I put in here because there's a bunch of stuff. Okay. Here is a black eye pair. So, yeah. Yeah, I agree, Jenny. I think we should all be making a giraffe. It's so interesting. I'm gonna have to try and like take a video of it in the light because it does kind of vary from the white to like a greenish blue. It's very pretty. I like it. I think it'll be really pretty on a plushie. Here is a white set. Oh, you haven't made an owl before. Nancy, this could be your moment. This could be your time to shine. Yeah, I feel like this one has a lot of blue tinges to it. So I like it. I'm pretty smitten with this. I think I'm going to make a big set of eyes because I don't have 35 white of this. I only have the black in 35. So, oh yeah, a dragon would be beautiful with this. I think this could be really pretty with a snowy owl too. I need to make another big dragon. I have one right now that is sitting very lonely in my booth, but it's kind of like I don't want to say like a like traditional dragon. It's just like a brownish speckled. I like making kind of the patterns or designs in ways that really like kind of pop, you know. Because I mean, why not? Like I find that with a lot of the stuff that are made as plushies, you're competing against like standard items you would get at a store. So like a teddy bear or, you know, some other very traditional item to have a crochet plushie that you can make something so unique that people can't find at like just a typical store. And it also could be like what draws people into your booth or your shop or whatever it is. So I like making kind of the crazy things. My plague doctor, I loved that little guy. I need to make another one because he brought me so much joy and just made me laugh. I know it is a lot of work when I see people's patterns. It's true. I don't fault you for that, Nancy. Oh, I like that. The spots are in emerald. That's cute. Yeah, I'd love to see a different colored giraffe. That would be fun. Um, yeah, I just like making things in kind of like different combinations. So, and then the dragons right now, you know, everyone's doing the fourth wing colors, myself included. But I mean, I'm not a fourth wing girly. Sorry. But I do like the fantasy books and all that. I just was not a fan of fourth wing. I'm a snob about it. I really like ACOTAR though. So maybe I'm just a fairy girly. I don't know. It makes people feel more attached. Yep. I've been listening to Fourth Wing while I crochet and I want to make them all. I know. I read the first book and then I think I went back to ACOTAR. And my friends like we laugh about it because they're all very into Fourth Wing. And I'm like, it's just not my cup of tea. But I do enjoy that genre in general. And I think I've read another book by Rebecca Yarros recently. I can't remember. I have to check. All right. Yeah, Fourth Wing has that. The third book just came out, which I'm hearing mixed reviews on. So, you know. But I mean, that could be said about any series. Also, I heard that this is all pure like rumor that originally it was going to be a 3-book series, but she was given a deal to make like 5 or 6 books or something. So in my mind, it's kind of like Pirates of the Caribbean. It could have been, I don't even know how many there are. It could have been 2 movies, but they were like, oh, more money? Like, sure, we'll make it 8. So I don't know. Some of them seemed unnecessary. Yeah. Oh, you're listening to Onyx Storm. Nice. Yeah, my book club had a spin-off to have a fourth wing session, and I had FOMO because I love hanging out with my ladies from book club, but then I was also like, but I'm not going to read that book. So, all right, near dry. These are 25s that just came out. Sorry that they're not lined up. Hold on. It's going to bug me. So, yeah. I know. Well, so ACOTAR, we're going to get into this topic now. ACOTAR, the first book's like the rite of passage. You have to get through it in order to get the second book, which I think helps redeem the first book. But I do not like Nesta. I do not understand the Team Nesta people. She's cranky. She was mean. She was horrible to her sister. She's a spoiled brat. Anyways, I'm sorry for people who care nothing for these books or know nothing about what I'm talking about, but if you have read them and you know who Nesta is, explain to me how Nesta suddenly becomes a favorite character. I don't understand it. Thank you, Anna. So, yeah. I know, but Cassian. But, he deserves so much better. Not Nesta. But also Elaine. And didn't, Elaine... I hope this isn't a spoiler for anyone. But wasn't it kind of like a Renesmee thing with the Twilight series? I couldn't remember what the name was. It's like baby is born and suddenly this werewolf or fairy or whatever it is we're talking about is like, that's my soulmate. It's just weird. But yeah, Cassian, agree. Especially because Rhysand got really annoying, by book 3 or 4. So, yeah. I feel ya. But anyways, if you haven't read Quicksilver, I did really like that one. And there is, That Girl Reads. It's like THATGRL. I don't know. It's That Girl Reads, but there's a vowel missing in there. She's actually located in Cary, which is the next city over from me. And I feel like we are very much aligned in our book taste because everything that she recommends as being her favorite has been mine. And she's not a Fourth Wing fan. And she gets a lot of hate for it. So do I. All right, here's the itty bitty ones. They just came out. So yeah, I like the crafts that I pick up. I pick up a lot of them. I also seem to pick up a lot of book clubs, and I've realized recently that I need to set limits because I want to participate in all of them. But there's only so much I actually do want to read that people are recommending because I'm picky. And it's just a lot of time that I could be crocheting and listening to my audiobook. Yes, it's Quicksilver by Kelly Hart. I really liked it. And there is going to be a sequel, but I'm fairly certain, yes, she just got picked up too by a major publisher. So she was going to, I think she'd already written her second book and was going to publish it, but because she got picked up, now there's we have to wait a year for the sequel to come out. It's fine. I really liked it. So I have tried Libby, and I actually have my mom's library in California on my Libby because she gets physical copies of books and I do the audiobooks. So she lets me have her Libby to do the audiobooks. And so I'm able to get more books than I would if I was just doing my little itty bitty library here. It's not itty bitty, but it just doesn't have as much variety. So it just is another way. But yeah, I really like Quicksilver. That was one of my favorites. Also, When the Moon Hatched. I like that one. And I think that's going to be a 2-parter as well. But I can't remember. I read it a little bit ago. So, yeah. I know. So I actually started doing audiobooks when I was running again, pre-pandemic Christine. And I would do 30-minute episodes of podcasts in order to motivate myself to run because I tell myself I just have to run while listening to this 30-minute thing. And eventually, as I started running longer and longer distances, I started doing audiobooks and got really into it. But there definitely is like, you have to be reading certain types of books in order to be able to run to them. Because if it's like a very slow, dry read, that can be hard to keep motivated while you're running. But yeah, now like switching over to doing so much crocheting. I used to just knit really, and I made granny square blankets, but that got old really fast. Switching to amigurumi, I really love listening to audiobooks. So, and I go through a lot of them. I also speed them up. 1.4, 1.2 to 1.4 is kind of my standard. And my husband makes fun of me because he says they sound like chipmunks, but they sound perfect to me. So, you're not hogging the chat? Welcome. Yes, Jenny, I love listening to audiobooks. Yeah, and it's hard to like, I mean, also because I'm crocheting all the time, but it is hard to, there's so much that I want to do that doing an audiobook, it's like, it's just multitasking. But I can concentrate enough on the book, and crocheting is, in many cases, not always, mindless enough for me that I can multitask with it. So it's like, I don't know. And that's part of why I don't do as much TV. I'm getting out more of the large white safety eyes because I'm really loving them with this. I just don't do as much TV because I have to pay too much attention, I guess, like visually and audibly. It was really hard when I started watching the Studio Ghibli movies with my kids because I'd always wanted to see them. And then, especially as I started making Totoros and things like that, I was like, I need to know what I'm doing. And some of them we found in English, but some of them it was Japanese with subtitles. And I was like, I can't crochet, but I sucked it up. So, Nancy, thank you so much for joining tonight. I will probably be signing off soon too because it is getting late, but I am like on a roll with these safety eyes. 12:30 in the afternoon. Where are you? Tracy. I'm trying to do the math. You in Australia? I'm completely guessing. I have no idea what time it is in Australia right now. So, I work with a lot of people in Ireland. So it's interesting in my day job. I know what time it is, and very fun. Side note, the spiders in Australia, are they as terrifying as they seem? Because I know the girl who knots is terrified of spiders, and she cracks me up because I love her posts about it. But also, I would be too if I lived in Australia, from everything I've heard. Also, don't y'all have bats that are like the size of humans that aren't vampires? Yeah. Anyways, I'm spreading false information, but I swear you guys have the craziest animals, and I desperately want to go to Australia. On that note, I just would be horrified if I actually saw a spider from Australia in person. That's that big. No, maybe that was like New Zealand. I am kind of obsessed with this. I might have to make like a huge batch of these. Spiders large, yes. I don't know. I think I might rather have the bats. Sloopy. There we go. And then are kangaroos really not nice? Because I've also heard that. All those things that you hear about. Ooh, interesting. We have wolf spiders here. And I saw one once when I was camping. And it was the last time I did not bring a flashlight with me when walking to the bathroom at night while camping. And someone like had a flashlight that was with us and was like just swinging it around. And I saw this spider that was like the size of a hand. I was ready to pack up. So I don't think I've ever run so fast in my life. And then I've heard, so I'm originally from California, and we have black widows, which are terrifying, but I don't hang out in like garden sheds, especially knowing that there were black widows in them. But then the rest was like daddy long legs, like nothing else was really going to get us. But when I moved here and I heard about wolf spiders, what? And then we have lots of snakes, we have lots of copperheads, water moccasins. I've heard they will like chase you, like they're just jerks. And they similar to what you're saying. If you don't bug them, like they'll leave you alone. No, like water moccasins are like, we will come and get you. I could also be making this up, but I have heard this, and I'm not interested. So yeah, I do. I love camping, but some nature just really scares me. So yeah, you've been traveling Australia full time for 3 years. The traveling Australia sounds wonderful. The fact that it's just mosquitoes and midges does help, but that's amazing. Are you like camping traveling Australia or just like hotels? We have a little camper. That's why I ask. So we usually take one big road trip a year. This year we are not because we did one the last 3 years and they were all really big. And so we're giving ourselves a break this year. Yeah, I don't want to find out either. Ooh, living in a caravan. I love that. Yes, I have an Instagram page for my travels, and it's neglected right now because we're not traveling. But we do. We have our little camper, and we did a trip to Acadia National Park in Maine and all the states on the way last year. The year before that, we did Yellowstone and Grand Tetons, and where else did we go? Ours is a 21 foot. So yeah, that extra 5 feet of space, though, I bet it makes a difference because we had a 14 foot. Yeah. Oh, I just touched this stuff that was not dry. Apparently, I painted one of these safety eyes and just put it back down on my mat. It's all good. That sounds super fun, though, and I love that. And obviously, that makes a lot of sense with your name. Do you all have videos on YouTube? I find it hard to tell when people have videos versus just like clicking on their links directly, because I feel like there's a lot of people, myself included, for a long time that chatted but didn't actually have videos posted, because I would be happy to follow all y'all. Yep, 20 foot moved up. I know. I would love to do a bigger one, but yeah. Yeah, I'll check out your channel, Tracy. My light's not staying on as long. All right, these little itty bitty ones are coming out. Yeah, and that's totally okay, Jenny. I have taken a long time to get to this point, though. I did my channel. If you've gone through the old videos, I have a ton of videos from when I did Irish and Scottish dancing, which was pre-kids and back in California. So it's interesting because some of those videos still get a lot of views. One in particular that does a comparison of Irish and Scottish dancing. And yeah, so, it'll be telling me how my videos are doing. And then it's like, the Irish versus Scottish jig is top 3 videos. Like, that was like 20 years ago. Video. Oh, ADHD Chase looking for the mystery boxes. Yes, I remember. Yeah, I know. I do need to check out the boxes on Temu just to see what's on there. I also found it really hard to find boxes other than these like yellow question mark ones, aside from maybe some that were like a brick or just a plain blank box. And I guess I could, create a design for it, but that's just another thing that would stop me from crocheting. So I was like, I'm just gonna throw money at the problem. And thank you for that yarn comparison. I felt a little nervous posting it because I know that people are very passionate about their favorite yarns, and I had some interesting experiences with some of them, but I also, people talk about all these different yarns so much, and it's hard to decide, like, is it worth ordering, especially when it's coming from different countries or could have really high shipping costs or just be expensive in general. Because, I mean, when you find something you like, you kind of stick with it. Mystery eggs for Easter, that would be really cute. That is a great idea. I'm also going to do, it's such a mess right now. I am going to do these little pet adoption boxes. So I made this little dog from a Poppy's Place pattern, but it's kind of like lost in there. So I think I'm going to make it in a larger yarn size because this was parfait. And I was thinking about putting a little bed. Like there's that pattern that's the bed in the food bowl. I thought that might be cute, but I don't want to charge too much because this is one of those things too where I have a lot of little kids that come to the booth and they're obviously on a very limited budget, slash their parents are like, you cannot spend X amount of money on things. So, I want to keep it reasonable, but I don't know. I think it's really cute though to have the little, because people love the loaf cats with the adoption certificate. Kids yesterday were losing their minds over that. So yeah, I think having these little assortment of dogs would be really fun. And I like the loaf dogs. I just need Annie to, yeah, I have a little adoption certificate, like a smaller version of the one I normally give out for the loaf cats. I'm going to roll it up and put it in there. But yeah, so I'm hoping if I do a larger size yarn, it'll fill up a little bit more. And then with that and the adoption certificate, it won't be like rolling around in there. So yeah. All right, hold on. Did that last year for Easter, Spotlight Store. Oh, yep, Joanne's equivalent had plastic Easter eggs that open up. Yeah, that's a great idea. I've got the poppers for like Easter baskets that I'm doing, and then the mystery boxes, and then I'm hoping I'll have some of these little puppies for adoption at my next one. Sorry. Oh, a little bone with the dog. That's cute. I like that. You have great ideas. Yes, Shannon, starting the channel in March. Oh, I'm so jealous you're going on that retreat. I'm going to have so much FOMO, and I would not have known about this in any way, shape, or form in time. But it just sounds like amazing to be hanging out with other crocheters, crafters. I've done a couple running retreats. Again, pre-pandemic, Christine. I was a different person. And it was just so fun, like hanging out with people and being able to talk about things you love. So, yeah. Small shakers. And I love that. I mean, terrified of the fact of rattlesnakes in the area, but I think that's a genius idea and very cute. I could take a plushie snake, just not a real one. All right, I'm actually going to start pulling things out of here because that's why we're all here. More. I'm like scared to touch each of these because I can't remember when I put things in and if they're dry or not, because I'm just kind of randomly throwing things into the UV light. All right. Thank you so much, Amy. I appreciate it. It's just, a learning experience right now, but I'm having fun with it. And I'm glad I did this live. I was super nervous about it. And then I was like, I'm just going to do it. I'm sitting here painting safety eyes anyways. So I am probably going to do another 5 minutes, y'all, because it is getting late here. And I should probably start wrapping things up because I have to go into the office tomorrow. I work from home like 3 days a week, sometimes 4, but Tuesdays are my office days. I'd say yes, it was easy to set up the live, but I had technical difficulties. So I did a scheduled live at just when I decided I was going to do it. It was like 20 minutes before, and I said, I'm going to do this tonight. So I scheduled the live for 20 minutes later and basically just jumped on when it was about time and it said go live. So I did, and that was fine. And Jenny Ramsey Ivy was one of the first people on there, and Nancy, who has gone to bed, but it like connection just suddenly dropped. So I don't know what happened. I generally have a strong internet connection, so I don't know what it was, but I had to stop the live and like start a new one, and that was fairly easy. It just took me a couple minutes to figure out. So, I mean, yes, it wasn't too painful, but I can't or I haven't found out how to look at who is actually here while also having the chat open. It's like I can have one or the other. So I just went with leaving the chat open because I'd rather just talk to whoever wants to chat. So, yeah. I am filming on my computer, and you can, so I have a couple of monitors for work, and you can do a pop out of like part of it. But again, like when I was kind of dealing with the technical difficulties, I worried that I just had too many windows open, or I don't know. I just started troubleshooting and I closed a bunch of things. So you probably could have it on a couple of devices. I just didn't. Maybe I will. I am painting everything from 35, and I'm doing both black pupils and white pupils down to, I had one pair of 14s that are cooking right now. I'm using the UV light, but generally my main ones that I'm like going all in on are 30, 25, and 20. I'm doing a few of the 35s and then smaller, but like those are kind of the ones that really hit for me. So yeah. And yeah, I coming from California, I have been in North Carolina now for almost 13 years, and I still am not used to the humidity. So there's that. I do miss, I like having the seasons is lovely. You very much get 4 seasons, where I was in the Bay Area in California, and we're basically in a constant state of spring or fall, which is lovely. There's definitely days during spring and fall here where I'm like, oh, this reminds me of like mild California weather. It's great though in the summer, it's hot out and you can go to lakes. Raleigh, we have some beautiful lakes by us. We have some rivers. So we do camp a lot, and we're 15, 20 minutes from one of our favorite local campgrounds. So you can very much feel like away from it all. So that's nice. But yeah, the weather is a lot. I also did not know that we had tornadoes here. I thought it was just hurricanes, which in my mind, you can't predict an earthquake, but you can't predict a tornado. Like there's conditions for these things, but like generally you're not predicting it. Hurricane, they know when it's coming. You can kind of forecast what's coming and like evacuate, all that stuff. So when I found out that there were tornadoes, I was like, I did not sign up for that. Here's the itty bitty ones. This is the one pair of, I think, 14s that I did. They're very cute. So, yeah, like I have the main video and then I have the chat right next to it streaming, which is great. It's really just that participant window I can't see. So, I don't know. But I love North Carolina. I grew up in the California Bay Area. I miss certain things about California. But I don't miss the traffic at all. It was just very congested. It was so expensive. So I have family and friends there. I miss them all so much, but I love North Carolina, and honestly wouldn't, I don't know if I'd move back, even if someone like gave me a fancy $1 million house, which honestly, like, I I mean, $1 million house in California would be like a $5 million house here, I feel. I don't know. And not that I'm looking for $1 million house, but it's just, we paid a lot more for things in California than we do in North Carolina. So, anyways, on that note, I think I'm going to wrap it up because I need to get to bed soon so that I can go into the office too early tomorrow. But it has been such a pleasure hanging out with you all tonight, and thank you all for bearing with me on my first live. Amy, I know you just joined, but thank you for joining. I'm sorry that we're signing off now. But yeah, it's been really fun, and I think I'm just going to clean up the safety eye stuff, and I think I'm going to have to make some more of this mermaid one because I really did like it and want to make more of them. But I need to take a look at what I did make so that I can fill in all of those gaps. Thank you, Tracy. I appreciate that. Yeah, so maybe I'll go live again sometime next week or week after. I don't know. I'll try and schedule it in advance. This really was kind of, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it tonight, 20 minutes before I did it. So it was fun chatting with you all, though. Hope you all have a great rest of your day, evening, afternoon, and I'll see y'all next time. I also will have that market recap up on Friday. It was not the best market ever, but I was cracking myself up as I was doing my recap and thinking about it because it was just such a bizarre day. So that'll be an interesting one. Stay tuned. And thanks for joining me again. I'll see y'all later. Bye.